We have several examples for percent of change. The formula associated with percent of change is new over original equal percent over 100. I did leave a note here that says final result must represent the change from a baseline of 100%. How that translates is once you solve your problem, you then have to go back and see how the change is from 100%. In other words, if you've got a 100% line here and your end result is over 100%, you take that answer minus 100, and that's how much increase you have. If you have an answer that's under 100%, you take the 100 minus your answer, and that shows you the percent of decrease. And the next four examples will detail what exactly I'm talking about. So for the first problem, it says, to the nearest tenth, what is the percent of change when you have a new price of $3.86 and an original price of $5.02? New prices are always written as numerators, so I'm going to say $3.86 over original price $5.02 equal percent, which we're going to call an X, over 100. Goal in algebra is to get the variable by itself. Since my goal in algebra is to have the variable by itself, I simply will multiply by 100 here. And that would become 386 times 100 over 502. You may be looking at this and asking the question or thinking to yourself, well, he's doing that a little differently than what he's done in the previous examples, and that's correct. For these, I'm just interested in getting that X by itself, so almost every time you just multiply by what's on that denominator, that 100, and you get a nice result. Now I do need to put this in my calculator, so I bring out my calculator. I'm going to say 386 times 100 divided by 502. That gives me, now because this wants to be in nearest tenth of a percent, that's obviously telling me I need to have this as a decimal, and so I'm going to leave this as 76.9. I am going to round that appropriately, 76.9. Now as I round that, this says 76.9 is equal to X. That is not the answer. That shows me how much of the original price is still there. Since this, the original price was 502 and now we're at 386, we know that we fell down, that it dropped down. So this represents what percent is still there. The question is, what was the percent of change? And so I have to take the 76.9. I like to do it this way and subtract 100. I always just subtract 100. When I subtract 100, 76.9 minus 100, I get negative 23.1. But I'll report it as 23.1% decrease. You don't want to do the double negative. A double negative would mean you're increasing it. So when it says negative, you'll just report it as 23.1% decrease. Again, take your answer, subtract 100. That's the way you're always going to do it. If your answer is positive, you would say increase. In this case, when it came out to be a negative, I'll say percent decrease. 23.1% decrease. There's example 1.